Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this year's Ho-onko Service. You know, as most of you know, Ho-onko is a very important service, and I'm just going to read something on the back of our program because it explains it better than I would be able to. So it says here, regarded historically as the most important gathering of the year in the Honganji tradition, Ho-onko, a gathering to express gratitude, is not simply an occasion to honor and express gratitude to Shinran Shonin, but to deepen our commitment to live as true followers of the Buddha. Then it also mentions something that I was going to mention later, but it says you will notice the special chanting of the Shoshinge, the reading of the Gozokusho, the biography of our founder, and other aspects that are part of the tradition of Ho-onko. And you know, the Ho-onko service, for those of you who have not attended before, is very special, very unique, and something that is something you'll remember. And if you have the opportunity to go to our mother temple in Kyoto to observe the Ho-onko celebrations there, you will be amazed. And so, but anyways, we are glad that you are here. It's nice to see some familiar faces and also some unfamiliar faces. As I mention all the time, and often, way too often, it's just nice to see people back in the Hondo. You know, for so many years, I mean, it's amazing to say for so many years, but for so many years, you know, there is nobody here. And so to see all of you here today is wonderful, and I hope you will continue to come back and support the temple. 皆様、おはようございます。今日はようこそ、今年のHo-onko法要にお参りくださいました。これからお勤めが始まります。kadaから昇進言。So we will now begin our service with kada, and then we will go into the chanting of Shoshinge. As mentioned, it is a very unique chanting, and so hopefully you will participate and sort of follow along. And for those of you who weren't able to offer incense earlier, you will be able to offer incense during the Shoshinge.
Bowing reverently before the altar of Amida Buddha, the symbol of wisdom and compassion, I wish to make the following pledge. It is with profound gratitude and inspiration that I, Overseas District Abbot, have been granted this opportunity to join with all of you from near and far to observe the Ho-onko Service of the Higashi Honganji Los Angeles Betsuin. In retrospect, our ancestors came across the Pacific from Japan to settle in this country over 100 years ago to begin the propagation efforts of our denomination. It was a path fraught with difficulties, and yet they persevered through hardships and challenges to transmit the teachings of the Nembutsu. Reflecting upon that long history, I cannot help but express my deepest appreciation for the effort and dedication of our predecessors, and for the contributions of our current members in keeping the teaching alive. With gratitude for our ancestors in mind, I renew my commitment to continue our efforts to propagate the teachings in overseas districts. The significance that the teaching of the Buddha Dharma continues to exist in this world today is something that I must verify through my own life. Our world today has taken on the appearance of Ma-Po, the last Dharma age, and the darkness of human knowledge appears to have become even deeper. In this age of confusion and impediments, it is the Nembutsu teaching that can put us firmly on the right path. On this occasion of the Ho-onko Service, I hereby pledge that I will do my best to respond to the trust which our fellow followers have in me. Together with the Sangha members of our overseas districts, I vow to continue to listen to the teachings of the Nembutsu of the original vow, which was clarified by Shinran Shonin. Bowing reverently to the Buddha, we will once again renew our commitment to remember the spirit of Shinran Shonin, who deeply respected all people as fellow seekers, fellow travelers, and to seek the guidance of the Buddha Dharma, and to praise the wonderful virtues of the Buddha Dharma. With deep respect, I remain. November 5th, 2023, Shaku Kyonyo. 敬って大慈大悲の阿弥陀如来の尊前に申し上げます。本日ここに遠近各地からの御同坊御同業の皆様と共に、私が開教司教として東本願寺ロサンゼルス別院法恩庫をお迎えできましたことは、誠にありがたく深い感動を持って受け止めるものであります。顧みますと、私たちの先達がこのアメリカの地へ移住され、党派の開教がなされて114年の歳月が経過いたしました。その道のりは決して平坦なものではなく、多くの苦難を乗り越えて、今日までお念仏の教えが手渡されてきました。この長い時の流れを思いますとき、この度の法恩庫に先立ち、これまでお念仏の見教えを相続された先達をはじめ、今まさに相続せんとされる皆様のご苦労とご尽力に深く感謝いたします。仏教が人類に開かれた教えとして現代に存在し続ける意義は、この私一人の生涯において明かされなければなりません。今、私たちを取り巻く環境は末代の姿をあらわにし、人知の闇はますます深まりつつあります。迷いの時代にあって、お念仏の教えは私たちの生活に確かな方向を与えてくださいます。この度の法要起源として、宗祖親鸞上人が明らかにされた本願念仏の教法を皆様と共に問診し、もって同坊各位の信託に応えんことをここに誓います。として申し上げます。仏祖のご称号を乞い、如来光大の遺徳をたたえ奉りますことを。 2023年11月5日釈教を敬って申し上げます。
じきに生み出大英知 無償公上日学校精進生一切群上無交渉本願名号少女号死心信行願に上等学小大涅槃一子面倒願成就如来勝利公出世唯世弥陀本願会皇族悪事群上会養親如来如実語の一年期愛心不断本の特寧派本性逆法再永入領収支入会一味別種信仰上昇後異道水派無量派本来心道死運無常不信じ信心天異尿日光運無運無資芸業無安逆心謙虚大狂気即応徴税合悪臭一切全幕本部人門心如来偶然が文言広大小芸者税人名分だりけみだぶ本願念部邪見狂慢悪衆上信行十字人にな南中市南昔インド祭天使論芸中華自治一思構想現代諸公聖書異妙如来本税要記釈迦如来両画線一種五妙難天竺流十大寺出頭世実の大春剣先世大乗無常小願義小安楽賢治難行六六信行異様指導楽億年弥陀部本願自年即時入筆上唯の上昇如来号大偶然用天神菩薩討論世義量無下公如来霊衆たら献身寺光線王朝大聖がこういう本願力栄光異道群上昇一心記入独大崩壊筆逆入大英収集特使蓮華造世界即昇進尿昇進有本の人間人図流生寺四寺用芸本寺鈍乱両天使上高乱小さらい三蔵ルシ十条教本性専業気楽法 終焉満徳の感染症三風三神慶音語運動魔法へ老非一生増悪地偶税思案尿解消妙化
天皇独名仏性
公愛上三行逆悪公明明後権因年介入本願大智慧行者小樹今後新狂気一年総合用意大と逆三人即所発祥史上楽原神崩壊一大教天地安女間一切先祖終身反戦人法家二度小弁流極重悪に唯勝負が薬剤非摂取中煩悩証言水不見大非無見上昇が本次元空明仏教連人全幕本部に新宗教商公演習戦弱本願具悪性現来生じ臨伝下決地上位少子俗入弱上無意楽一致新人異能入空
Thank you. You know, I think as most of you have noticed, the chanting is a little different, but it's also very special. And, you know, I mentioned this earlier as well, but if you do have a chance to go to Kyoto in November, and it's sort of like it's not just one day, it's a longer celebration or whatever you want to call it. And it's something where if you can see the chanting at our mother temple at the Honzan, it's a spectacle almost, because not only is it the chanting that's special, but the motion. There's actually like training that you have to go through, and you have to become sort of like certified. You have to be an official chanter to be able to participate in that special chant. And so it's something very special. So next, we will have the readings of Renyo Shonin's Ofumi. So let's see here. これからご続唱がございます。
星商人の俗称を言えば、不自由寺として、お長岡の少女、内窓公の抜損、皇太古宮の大神、有のりの子なり、また、恩寺を訪ぬれば、伊田如来の化身と講師、あるいは大頓乱大師の最短とも言えり、しかればすなわち少年臭いの春の頃、自鎮歌唱の門人に連なり、出家得度して、その名を万年小納言の君と申す。それよりこの方、両門横川の末流を伝え、天台宗の適学となりたまいぬ。その後、29歳にして、初めて天空上人の天心に参り、上足の弟子となり、真宗一流を踏み、千寿千年の儀を立て、速やかに本部直入の新人の表し、大家始終の不人の教えて、王道往生を進めましましけり。そもそも本願28日祖師上人宣言のご正気として毎年の言わず真相嫌わず古今の行者このご正気を しかる間、かの音読の深きことは、明露八万の頂き、聡明三千の底に越え過ぎたり、大勢ずばあるべからず、社せずんばあるべからざるものか。このゆえに毎年の礼儀として、一七か日の間、方のごとく法恩社徳のために、無理の本業をいたすところなり、この一七か日、大恩公の右にあたって、文様の類、国軍より来住、今においてその相転なし、しかりといえども、慰安人の行者に至っては、いかでか法恩社徳の儀、これあらんにゃ。しかのごときの友柄は、この右において、仏法の真不信の相尋ねて、これを弔問して、誠の信心献上すべくんば、真実真実、承認後者の本心に相かのべきものなり。哀れなるかなや、それ承認往生は天気遠く隔たって、すでに一百よ歳の生存を送るといえども、ご遺君ますます盛んにして、教行心象の妙に、今に完全にさえぎり、人口に残れり、尊むべし、信ずべし、これにどいて、当時珍宗の行者の中において、真実信心の逆徳せしむる人、これ少なし。ただ人人目仁義ばかりに、名門の心をもって、放射とこうせば、いかなる志をいたすというとも、一年奇妙の真実の信心の献上せざらん人々は、その所詮あるべからず、誠に水一って赤落ちずと言え
Thank you very much. Those are some very powerful words, and to think that those were written hundreds of years ago, it's kind of interesting and kind of eye-opening, I guess you might say. So, ただいまよりご挨拶がございます。ご紹介は輪番伊藤にお願いいたします。So we have some special greetings, and I would like to ask the Rinban to do the introductions.
Good morning, everyone. I really should be speaking over there, but I don't want to walk in front of our guests, and so I came up to speak at the podium. We're very, very fortunate to have three guests from our mother temple, our headquarters in Japan, in Kyoto. And well, of course, we had the what do you call it, the service prior to us sitting here, and we had our overseas district abbot, Otani, officiate our Ho-onko service for the first time in maybe about 4 or 5 years or so. Because of the pandemic, he hasn't been able to come, but we're very happy to have him here today to officiate our Ho-onko service, which is considered to be the most important service of the calendar year. And to have all three of the guests here with us is a really wonderful thing. In addition to our overseas district abbot, Otani Yu, we also have two other guests from our headquarters in Kyoto. Reverend, let's see if I can get their names right. Bishop Shinran Nasu, who is one of the cabinet members of our organization, and his position is one of the areas that he is in charge of is the overseas districts. And so we're really happy to welcome him here today, and to meet us, or to have our opportunity to meet him, and have him to have this opportunity to be able to join us for the service. And also we have Reverend Yoshiyasu Nobesawa. Okay, yeah, I forgot you. And he is the head of the department of what is called the Soshikibu, Organizational Affairs Department. And in that department, the overseas office is there. And so Reverend Nobesawa is in charge of all of those things, and we are able to communicate with them on a regular basis. But it also was his first opportunity to be here, and so we're very happy to have Reverend Nobesawa also here. Well, I think I don't need to do the introduction in Japanese because it's going to take time. So now we'll have messages. So, okay, first is our overseas district abbot, Otani.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude to all of you for your attendance at the Ho-onko service of the Higashi Honganji North America District and the Los Angeles Betsuin today. It has been 5 long years since I came to your district. This is my first trip to Los Angeles since the COVID-19 pandemic began in 2020. It coincided with the year in which I was appointed to serve as Overseas District Abbot. Since then, I have waited for this opportunity to listen to the Dharma in person together with all of you in the North America District again. This year, 2023, was the year in which we observed the 850th celebration of Shinran Shonin's birth and the 800th anniversary of the establishment of Jodo Shinshu. The theme of this historic event was Namu Amida Butsu, to discover the meaning of being born as human beings. It was held at our mother temple in Kyoto during March and April this year. Because of your continued support of our denomination, the celebration was a wonderful success. So many of you from all of our overseas districts made the journey to Kyoto to participate in this event. I was extremely grateful that I was able to meet many of you there. I am happy to hear that the celebration will be planned to be held in your district as well. I look forward to the opportunity to join you in this auspicious event together with all of you. Let us all continue to recite the Nembutsu and to discover the meaning of our having been born as human beings together through the teaching of Shinran Shonin. In closing, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation for your attendance here today and your dedicated efforts in preparing for the service. It is my hope that each of you will help pass down the teachings and traditions to the next generation. Thank you. Should I read the Japanese also? All right. はい。本日はようこそ北米海峡区並びにロサンゼルス別院法恩校にご参拝くださいました。北米の皆様、大変お久しぶりでございます。2020年に新型コロナウイルス感染症のパンデミックが発生して以降、実に5年ぶり、そして私が開教司教に就任してから初めて北米の皆様とこうして共に仏法聴聞することができたこと、大変嬉しく思っております。また皆様のおかげをもちまして、本山では今年の3月から4月にかけて南無阿弥陀仏、人と生まれたことの意味を尋ねていこうというテーマのもと、宗祖親鸞聖にご誕生850年、立教改宗800年共産法要が言収され、無事炎上いたしました。各海峡区からもたくさんの方々がはるばる京都へお参りくださり、私にとっても大変尊いご縁をいただいたことでございます。今後はこの北米海峡区でも共産法要をお務めされると思っております。再び皆様と相集うて共にお念仏を申し、親鸞聖人の教えに出会うご縁をいただけることを楽しみにしております。最後にご参拝くださいました皆様、法恩庫の準備にご尽力くださった皆様に心から感謝するとともに、今後ますます法義相続に精進されることを念じ申し上げ、ご挨拶とさせていただきます。
Thank you, Overseas District Abbot, you Otani. 次は山武の那須真珠様にお願いいたします。So next will be the Bishop Shinju Nasu.
Namu Amida Butsu, 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 Namu Amida Butsu. Good morning, everyone. I'm Shinjun Nasu from Higashi Honganji in Kyoto. Thank you very much for attending the Ho-onko of the Los Angeles Betsin. I'm very happy to be here to observe the most important service of the year, together with all of you today. 開教師やメンバーの皆様方におかれましては、日頃から注文誤字のため、また北米開教区の発展のためにご尽力をいただいておりますこと、厚く御礼を申し上げます。
First of all, I wish to express my deepest appreciation to all of you, all of the temple members and ministers for your continued support of our Higashi Honganji denomination. My appreciation also goes to your single-minded dedication to the development of the North America district.
また、司教のご挨拶にもありましたように、先の共産法要では、多数の北米開教区の皆様にも参詣をいただく中で、宗祖親鸞上人ご誕生850年、立教改修800年の共産法要の炎上を見ましたことは、誠に喜びに堪えません。皆様より多くのお心をお寄せいただきましたことを重ねて厚く御礼を申し上げます。
As the Overseas District Abbot stated in his greetings, the 800th celebration of Shinran Shonin's birth and 800th anniversary of the establishment of Jodo Shinshu were conducted very successfully at our mother temple this year. So we are extremely happy that so many of you of the North America district traveled to Kyoto to participate in the celebration. On behalf of the Higashi Honganji, I take this opportunity to express our deepest gratitude for your participation and support.
さて、ご存知のように、現在展開している信州の教えを広める海外開教には長い歴史があり、北米開教区ではロサンゼルス別院の前身でありますラフ仏教会が1904年に設立され、本年で119年を迎えます。
As many of you know, our propagation efforts in overseas district have a long history. The propagation in the North America district began with the establishment of Rafu Bukkyokai, the predecessor of the Los Angeles Betsuin, in 1904. So this year marks the 119th anniversary of the establishment of this temple.
この長い歴史の間に、戦争をはじめとした幾多の困難やご苦労があったことを推察いたします。今日まで別院、寺院が護持されていますのは、歴代の開教監督をはじめとする職員や開教師の尽力はもとより、創創期から現在に至るまで、寺院を支えてこられたメンバーの皆様の信州本廟に対する創教の念と、宗祖親鸞上人の見教えを生きんとする願いによるものであります。
During the long history, I assume that the propagation efforts in this country have been confronted with many difficulties and hardships, such as the experiences of World War II. Despite such adverse conditions, the Betsuin and other temples have continued to maintain during the long history. It is, of course, because of the dedication of the successive generation of our bishops and ministers, not to mention the tireless support extended by all of your temple members from the early period of the district to this day. I believe that at the basis of their efforts and support was the deep reverence for the Higashi Honganji community and the innermost aspiration to live their lives to the fullest, according to the Shinran Shonin's teaching, which have been shared with all of us.
引き続きロサンゼルス別院を中心道場として、輪番、開教監督、開教師、メンバーが一体となり、北米開教区の活動を行っていただきますようお願いいたします。
It is my wish that our ministers and members will continue to work together to support the activities of the North America District with the Los Angeles Basin continuing to serve as its center of propagation.
本年までコロナの影響によりまして、ここロサンゼルスの地に大谷優開教司教が赴いていただくことが叶いませんでした。本日初めて別院本校にご直習いただきました。
As you know, Overseas District Abbot Yu Otani was not able to come to the Los Angeles for a long period of time due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, I am pleased to see that he is finally able to officiate the Bethin's Ho-onko service for the first time as the assistant to the abbot. So he said that Gojikishu is the conducting the service with the abbot as our officiant.
開教司教には、開教区における別院住職、すなわち御門主の補佐として、これまでの開教区における皆様の活動や歩みを尊重しつつ、皆様方の先頭に立って信州の共謀を問診していただくことであります。そして、これまでの伝統的なお寺のコミュニティの枠を超えて、アメリカ社会にとどまらず、広く世界に宗祖の教えを発信していただきたいと願っております。
Our wish is that Overseas District Abbot will continue to visit your temple to officiate the services as the assistant to the abbot and to listen to the Buddha Dharma together with all of you as the spiritual guide of your Sangha, as well as to learn even more deeply the history and current activities of your district. We hope these efforts will facilitate the propagation of the Shinran Shonin's teaching throughout the world beyond our traditional temple communities of all this country.
これからのち、皆様と共に、大谷優開教司教が歩みを進めてまいります。
So in
皆
closing,
様の信州本廟、北米開教区へのさらなるお支えをお願いいたしまして、挨拶とさせていただきます。本日はようこそ法恩校にお参りくださいました。
in closing, so Overseas District Abbot Yu Otani will continue to listen to the Dharma together with all of you. I ask for your continued support of our Sangha to work together with him and also to further the development of the Shinshu Honbyo and the Higashi Honganji North America District. I wish to thank you for your attendance at the Ho-onko service of the Los Angeles Basin today. Thank you very much.
ナムアミダ仏、ナムアミダ仏、ナムアミダ仏、ナムアミダ仏、ナムアミダ仏、ナムアミダ仏。
山武の那須真珠様、ありがとうございます。Thank you to Bishop Shinjun Nasu for his wonderful greeting. ここで大谷学園の歌があります。Next, long awaited. So we are happy to be able to have the Otani Gakuen sing 2 songs for us, May Peace Prevail and Echo. So thank you to Mrs. Funai and the Otani Gakuen for the wonderful songs. And thank you to Reverend Goto for also his contribution. And while it's wonderful to listen to six beautiful voices, it's not like they don't want men in the choir. So if any of you males want to join, they are definitely open to that, and they practice on Sundays. And so if you even want to just join in and participate in the practices, that's fine also. So next, we do have our Dharma messages. Sort of a change. So, 三好先生の日本語の方は、隣のお内仏にありますので、お内仏の方に向かってください。So the Japanese Dharma message will be in the onaibutsu right next door. So for those of you who want to listen to Reverend Miyoshi's Japanese message, please head over to the onaibutsu. And today's English Dharma message will be given by our own Reverend Mayuki Nagamine, who most of you know. She's still relatively new, so we're throwing her into the fire by having her deliver our English Ho-onko message today. In addition to singing, in addition to participating in the service, she'll also be cleaning up downstairs later. So we are happy that she's here. But without further ado, I'd like to ask Reverend Mayuki to deliver her Dharma message.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Here I am being thrown in the fire. I got your message. Thank you. Welcome to our Ho-onko Service 2023. And welcome to Higashi Honganji Los Angeles Bedswin, Overseas District Abbot Otani, Bishop Shunjin Nasu, and Reverend Yasuyoshi Nobesawa. As many people already have mentioned, Ho-onko is the memorial service of Shinran Shonin, who is the founder of Jodo Shinshu. And it is the most important service for us Jodo Shinshu followers. We are taught that our year starts and ends with Ho-onko. So my understanding for Ho-onko is like New Year's Eve and New Year's. I'm grateful to have this opportunity to share Dharma with all of you here on such a special day. As many of you know, this past spring was a very special time for all of us. We celebrated Shinran Shonin's 850th birthday and 800th anniversary of the establishment of Jodo Shinshu for an entire month. And this kind of service only happens every 50 years. So I know some of you got the chance to join it, so yay, lucky. I was working as a staff while the ceremony was being held, and it was great to see groups from overseas districts, including North America as well. I was assigned as an English guide at the venue, and since it was the first spring after Japan finally reopened its border, I got to interact with many people from overseas. They were interested in what was going on and what the service was for. So it was also a great opportunity to inform newcomers about Jodo Shinshu. The theme for the anniversary ceremony was 南無阿弥陀仏、人として生まれたことの意味を尋ねていこう。Meaning, 南無阿弥陀仏, to discover the meaning of being born as human beings. In addition, the theme for the last anniversary service, which was 50 years ago, was 生まれた意義と生きる喜びを見つけよう, which means, let us discover significance of birth and the joy of living. To me, it feels like these two slogans share similarities. They both suggest we embrace the meaning of life and rejoice in our human lives. But why is it so important to find the meaning of life and enjoy it? I'm happy and thankful to have a life as a human being, but if you think about it, it wasn't our decision to be born in a human form. And from the day one we were brought into this world, we're getting closer to death day by day. Nowadays, people try to go to a good college so they can have a good job, then make a lot of money, and start a family with wealth. And this is so-called a good life. This is commonly considered as a template that everyone should follow. To be realistic, money is very important in our lives, especially in California, where median home prices are more than $600,000, and gas prices go up to $7 sometimes. However, if money is all we have to care about in our lives, does that mean productivity is the core of human lives? In modern society, we tend to value our lives based on things we own, what we are capable of, and how much money we make. It is all about productivity. But these things will mean nothing once we leave this world. These things aren't what makes one a human being. I'd like to share an incident that happened in Japan 7 years ago. A male caregiver who used to work at a daycare institution for disabled people wounded 45 tenants, and 19 of them have passed away. The criminal was given a death sentence. He argued that continuing to support individuals with disabilities is a significant burden on society in terms of both time and money. He also asserted that severely disabled individuals who cannot communicate effectively are not human beings, but rather lost souls, and that those who lack productivity have no value in living. His one-sided sense of justice based on these beliefs led him to carry out this mass killing, which he warned of it in a document sent to the Speaker of the House of Representatives right before the incident, claiming it was for the sake of Japan and the world. In the background of forming in such beliefs, the criminal likely encountered the reality of the working conditions within the facilities, which couldn't be sustained on idealism itself. He was also influenced by discourse and values circulating through internet and media, emphasizing concepts like productivity and personal responsibility. While his criminal acts were unequivocally unacceptable, this incident also underscores the need for us and society to once again confront the discrimination and prejudice against individuals with disabilities that we have occasionally avoided. Not only this, but various kinds of discrimination still exist in our society. The way we perceive things by dividing and evaluating them, often without seeing them as they truly are, based on whether they're convenient or inconvenient, for us is called hunbetsu in Japanese. It means discernment. Each individual has their own perspective, and even within a single person, this perspective can change depending on circumstances, like an uncertain scale that can easily shift. In India, people use both their left and right hands for various tasks. The right hand is considered the sacred, pure hand, and is used for activities like shaking hands with others and eating. The left hand, considered impure, is used for tasks like going to the bathroom. Folding both the left and right hands together is expressed through Namaste greeting. In Indian culture, people always greet each other with a bow, saying Namaste, which signifies I respect you. Even when meeting someone for the first time, this greeting conveys an attitude of cherishing the encounter. And it signifies that one sees the other person without making distinctions like good or bad, like or dislike, or loss or gain. Upon reflection, we often categorize things as good or bad, like or dislike, or loss or gain. From our own perspective, folding both hands in Namaste gesture symbolizes the idea that I don't judge you based on these distinctions. It seems to reflect the notion that a genuine respect for others does not originate from a mindset of discrimination. For example, many people often emphasize the importance of health comes first. Ideally, I also wish to remain healthy for a long time. However, as we age or face illnesses, we may not be as physically capable as we were in our youth. It is something that happens to everyone, gradually becoming less useful in some aspects. If someone were to say, the person is no longer any good, you could just brush it off. But if you're fixated on the idea of health comes first, you might find it difficult to accept your diminished capabilities compared to your younger self. One teacher once said, the health comes first mindset is, in fact, an unhealthy perspective. It can become quite strange when your own values start to harm your own life. Each one of us lives a unique life, supported by various factors. Shinran Shonin viewed life without such distinctions of higher or lower, believing that one only has value when they are energetic and able to work, and become worthless when they can't work, is a false belief and should not be your foundation. Shinran Shonin teaches the concept of true, provisional, and false. Provisional refers to temporary or transient things. For example, there's a phenomenon known as burnout syndrome, where individuals who have reached retirement age or completed their child-raising phase may feel lost and fall into emptiness, not knowing what to do next. Working for a company and raising children are essential and provide purpose and vitality in everyday life. However, once these phases are over, they tend to fade away. It's a question of what could serve as a lasting foundation throughout one's life. The other aspect, false, refers to things that should not be relied upon as foundation. When you anchor yourself in these false beliefs, you will inevitably become bound by them and, in turn, experience suffering. it can lead to evaluating not only oneself, but also other people based on their utility. In severe cases, it can even lead to questioning one's own worth and existence, like the incident I mentioned earlier. This false foundation involves using such a measuring stick and can result in individuals measuring and dissecting both themselves and those around them. It becomes a mutual process of measuring and being measured. In modern times, the judging of usefulness or uselessness, productivity or non-productivity, and efficiency or inefficiency has gained substantial prominence, influencing how society as a whole operates. I don't necessarily find this way of life tragic. I don't believe it's foolish to compare oneself to others or engage in competition. And if you joined the Undokai last month, you know how competitive I am. But this is the darkness. Those who truly dwell in the darkness do not realize they're in darkness until they encounter light. The idea of light shining is realizing that one has been in darkness until now. This light isn't a physical light or the sun. It symbolizes one's previous perspective, what they believe to be right, likened to darkness. It signifies realizing that their way of life was painful, that they were suffering, and they were in darkness. This is why Buddhas in Pure Land are referred to as light. It's not a story of obtaining a true foundation from today. Instead, it's a clear recognition that what they previously relied upon was provisional, a false foundation that they should not cling to. This is the essence of encountering the true foundation. True foundation comes to us in the form of re-examination of our past ways of being. One of the greatest Japanese Buddhist scholars, Iwao Hosokawa, once stated, "We are like beings inside an eggshell if we just exist. Inside the eggshell, we want to be happy. We wonder how we can achieve happiness. We strive to gain as much as possible and avoid any losses. While thinking about good and bad, profit and loss, victory and defeat, we live our lives with the aim of happiness. However, in the process of being preoccupied with these ideas, right and wrong, gain or loss, we may find ourselves caught up, and as a result, the egg may eventually rot, leading to death. The purpose of the egg is not to rot and die. The egg is warmed and nurtured by the parent bird, and this warmth symbolizes the teachings of the Buddha for us. Through receiving these teachings, we grow within the shell. Eventually, when the time is right, we emerge as a chick. In Jodo Shinshu, it's called receiving Shinjin. Shinjin means almost like faith. The concept of the eggshell represents self-centered thoughts of me. We are constantly preoccupied with what is good or bad for us, what brings us gain or loss, what leads to victory or defeat, always with a focus on me. It's only when we break free from the shell that we realize we were inside it. We discover there is a vast world beyond it. With the nurturing from the larger world, we become like the parent bird. This is what we call Buddha. I think this is a great expression to help us understand how we are surrounded by the teachings, Shinran's teachings don't just teach us how to attain enlightenment, but also things that are simpler yet hard to realize in our modern everyday life. One of the things I like about Shinran is his honesty and humbleness. The Buddhist teachings itself are really deep and difficult to understand, but we can learn so much more from the way Shinran Shonin lived. During the period Shinran was born, people were dying from plague and hunger, and earthquakes and fires were destroying the city. People were living day to day with sorrow and suffering. Shinran was born in one of the aristocratic families. However, being surrounded by such an environment, he often wondered about the meaning of living as a human being. Our modern society has developed a lot compared to Shinran's time. We have things that make our lives better, such as an advanced medical system and technology. And places like America and Japan are especially considered as first world countries. So oftentimes, we have the accessibility to live a decent life. On the other hand, there are some countries that might not have the same advantage as us. For example, there were ongoing wars among other countries. We see news regarding this matter every day, and it is tragic. Though America isn't directly involved, it is still shocking to us. In addition, the whole world recently just went through a pandemic, and our lives are majorly impacted. Numerous families worried and lost their loved ones. Therefore, regardless of the time we live in, we all experience some kind of hardships, and when we are going through these times, it is easy to forget how to enjoy life as a human being. And therefore, services like Ho-onko and anniversary services are important opportunities for us to take a moment and contemplate the purpose of living as a human being. So going back to the beginning, I was working at Honzan for a month when they were having anniversary services. But I'm not sure if that was long enough for me to find the purpose and reason to live as a human being. But I think what I learned from that experience is the importance of keep asking myself, seeking the purpose of life. So I hope today, Ho-onko, was one of your times to remind yourself and ask yourself what it means to live as a human being. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Mayuki, for the very wonderful, thought-provoking message. I'm still looking for my purpose in life, but hopefully one of these days. But actually, I like to talk about myself. So, I think when Reverend Mayuki was speaking, she was talking about the person who committed that crime, and I think what struck me was, as some of you know, I work at a community where we take care of seniors, and I see there are seniors who are similar to the Rinban, who are still very healthy and who can do most everything on their own. But there are other seniors who really need a lot of assistance, whether it's toileting assistance. Some of them need memory support. It's not a nursing home, but we do provide quite a bit of assistance. But I see my staff and the compassion and the care that they give everyone. It's like, it inspires me every day because, they're not their family. It's just, it's their job and it's something that they're paid for. but they do it because they really care about the residents. And, as mentioned, it's really inspiring to me. Moving on. So, a couple of announcements. As you've sort of read, I think, otoki will be served downstairs. It'll be a vegetarian meal, as is part of the tradition. And so hopefully most of you will be able to join us downstairs for the otoki. And then at 2 p.m., thank you to the temple members and volunteers for taking care of that. And at 2 p.m., Overseas District Yu Otani will officiate a special kikyoshiki confirmation ceremony. And everyone is invited to observe if you're interested. And so that'll be at 2 p.m. Following our otoki lunch. So next, we will sing the Gatha Ondok-san 1 on page 112. You can all please rise. All of the Japanese speakers are gone, so I guess I will just do it in English. But this concludes our service, for our Ho-onko service this year. And first of all, I'd like to thank our Overseas District Abbot, Yu Otani, for coming and officiating the service. Also to the Sammu, Nasu-sama, for coming. And then also to the Bucho, Nobesawa Sensei, for coming. So thank you very much. And then also thank you to our temple ministers, the streamers, to all of you, to the volunteers downstairs. We are glad that you all came to our Ho-onko service, and we hope that you'll be able to join us downstairs for the otoki. One last announcement. Usually our Shotsuki service is the first Sunday of the month, but because we had our Ho-onko celebration today, our Ho-onko service, next week will be our Kaikyoki Shotsuki service for November. So we hope to see you then. Okay, thank you very much.